Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. Jarl the Appian Way here. Welcome to Renowned Thenios. Okay, I'm going to try and do this quick because I got 3 siege battles I want to show you today. This is a 3v2 on medium funds. That means 8,200 per faction. That means that the gap, the point difference between the two factions is only going to be 8,200. We have an Archer Trickster hero for representing Mycenae with Armored Chargers, Armored Spearmen, 1 Bows of Mycenae, and 3 Bowmen. He also happens to have an Armored Spearman over here, 2 Club Warriors, and for my faction I am playing as the brother faction, Sparta, with a Warlord Commander. My faction makes up, let's see here, I want to say 5, yes, that's going to be 5 Laconian Swordsmen, who are the value infantry for Sparta. 3 units of Renowned Slingers, with an opportunity to deal a little bit of damage to units like Coastal Club Warriors by deploying up here, but unfortunately it won't play out like that. 1 Chariot, simple medium-class Chariot, a Cyclops, and he is beside my Warlord Commander. So we're going to go fast forward into this. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen over here because this is the part that doesn't matter. Oh, I forgot to tell you the other team the other roster. This is the Sparta Menelaus roster. He brought 3 Renowned Laconian Axemen, 2 Armored Spearmen. I'm sorry, make that 3 Armored Spearmen, and a Heroic Axe Warrior. Menelaus is on foot. He drops after about I want to say about 5 minutes of this battle, and then the entire Spartan team just turns into a bum rush to the gate, bum rush the point situation. It's not all that entertaining or appealing. Oh, meanwhile over here, I had to bring my 2 Laconian Swordsmen off the walls because I saw this Archer Skirmisher and a Chariot pop up, and I didn't just want to eat arrows that would bypass my shields, so I moved down. I figured I would wait until the forces of Dardania came to the walls to actually fight me, and he plays me like a fool, this Dardanian player, but I'll talk about him in a second. For now, the attack is on from Phthia. I looked it up. That is how you pronounce Phthia. It's F-T-H-I-A, and he's brought heavy swordsmen, just heavy swordsmen, and more heavy swordsmen, and Achilles is on foot. Also out here is a unit of Dardanian mob. They've manned this tower. Several Coastal Club Warriors, another Dardanian mob, a Dardanian Defender. We already showed you the hero on his Chariot a second ago. He's got 2 more Dardanian Defenders, 4 more Coastal Club Warriors. I'm sorry, make that 7 more Coastal Club Warriors. These guys are quite valuable for what they do. Only 74 damage, and they are a 2-handed charging unit, but definitely better than just bringing nothing but Dardanian mobs. Never mind, he was able to pad out his roster just fine on those numbers. So, seeing that the Armored Chargers are going to get here and my Slingers aren't going to be able to do much against dudes inside siege towers, I just abandon the walls. I come over here, I try to get some early cheap shots at the Dardanian Skirmisher. I get a little bit of damage to my Slingers since this is an unshielded unit. Oh, by the way, did I mention this is Toro 0220? Yes, the Dardanian player is in fact the guy who showed me the value of heavy infantry in this game. I have a video featuring a battle that I played against him. That video is in a card that's going to display up here. It was called the Heavy Infantry Spam, even though it wasn't necessarily a heavy infantry spam that he made me face, just so much as infantry that I couldn't counter. Okay. Spartan's making its way to the wall here. Let's speed things up. We can get to the next stages of the battle. I see some heavy swordsmen on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and put a Cyclops into this fight. I'm going to have my hero come back over here to help me out with this, since the entire Dardanian force has now arrived. And this is great. He gets them all the way to the wall, and then he abandons. He pulled all of his Dardanian troops out of here, and since the gate was destroyed anyway, he's just going to put his infantry right through the doors. I did get my guys back up on the walls. He tries to take some pot shots at my Laconian Swordsman. Good news for me, his arrows aren't connecting. They're actually bouncing off the walls because I didn't go deep on the walls. I spread my guys out a little bit, but unfortunately, it's too late. He's just going to walk right on past me, and all I have to plug this hole is the Coastal Club Warriors because he fainted taking the walls. A little tricksy there. So I'm going to try and get some slinger rounds into every one of these Coastal Club Warriors because that's the perfect target for value. I'm not worried about Dardanian mobs. Laconian swords will beat all Dardanian mobs if they get the chance. Cyclops is out here taking damage. The Club Warriors are not enough on their own to beat Heavy Swordsmen. These Armored Spearmen facing Heavy Swordsmen with the aid of a Dardanian mob. This is also not going to turn out too terribly well, but I do get some cheeky Cyclops boulders to try and support this. I'm doing my best to help my ally win these engagements. Meanwhile, my ally is over here. I've got my Laconian swords on the move. Trying to slow down, be a roadblock for the Spartan player, who I think is now absent, as you can see from just everybody now on the attack. Alright, so I was able to get one of the Laconian swordsmen down here in time, but he has enough infantry to just forget about it and keep going. And he's also gotten his 2 units of Dardanian defenders through the walls over here. All I really have to deal with this is going to be my Warlord and my Cyclops. So you can see I've already brought my Cyclops out of this fight. The Club Warriors were not going to hold forever, especially with all of these even more units, even more Coastal Club Warriors, even more Dardanian defenders, even more Heavy Swordsmen waiting in the wings. This is a lost cause. My ally needs to fall back from here too. I did get a downhill chariot charge into these lightly protected units, and I'm going to keep going. They're already at 47 kills and earning experience as they go. And I got my Laconian swordsman down the hill here to stop this. This was all to save my slingers, by the way. It was a very close thing where he almost ran down all my slingers. So here comes the Cyclops charge, and my hero to get into these units of Dardanian defenders. Screened out just in the nick of time by these Coastal Club Warriors, but not enough. Not quite enough. In due course. Here goes that chariot attack. It's now racked up 80 kills. It's going to try and roll into here. Oh, what a boulder. It's going to get in here. It will get stopped by the mass of Dardanian defenders, but as you can see, I've already pulled out. I've got to try and get an attack order onto these guys as quickly as I can before they lock me in, but I am not quite able to escape the Dardanian defenders just yet. My hero and Cyclops kind of clean up this fight. They're routing, but they'll probably be back. Get another charge here, but I really should have just tried to move them through while I had the chance. There goes that order to move them through, but at this point, they are caught. They are not going to escape this. The Dardanian defenders will get the damage done, as will the Coastal Club Warriors, and even this, well, not this Dardanian mob, no. But look at my hit points, my chariots just disappear, and that's it. And this is the fight for me. This is all I got left going for me. My slingers are going to switch targets to his Coastal Club Warriors, and as you can see, the Spartan player is just kind of pushing through all of this. It's not even a Spartan player anymore, it's just AI, and there's Heavy Swordsman, and that's really all she wrote. There isn't too terribly much else for this fight. I get an opportunity here to catch Toro 0220's Archer Skirmisher Chariot, but he's kind of running me out of here. This is broken. I'm trying to get it. Oh god, that arrow killed some of his own routing Dardanian defenders. Laconian Swordsman fighting valiantly here, but completely outnumbered. And that's really what this all boils down to. We're just outnumbered. I do get another Laconian Swordsman back here. I can just kind of fast forward this because I think you can see the writings on the wall. Menelaus here has got an open path. Just got to bypass some bowmen and go straight to the capture point. Like I said, it's an AI player. My troops are, morale is breaking all over the place. And you can see we're losing troops faster than we can make them lose troops. Out of the 1,300 we brought, they brought 3,000. And that's not a bad strategy at all. Dardania really helped carry this one for them. And I mean, honestly, so did Achilles, the Phthia player here. Having these heavy swordsmen in reserve just meant that there was not much we can do. Do get a cheeky uphill charge into this heavy swordsman. I think it's cheeky because it allowed me a chance to shoot my slinger's bullets into the back of this unit. But this also gives his chance for the heavy swordsman to put javelins into the back end of that, rear charge it with some Coastal Club Warriors, which is what they're made for. And unfortunately, he's just killing his allies, Coastal Club Warriors, with those javelins as he wastes them into a shattered unit. I do get a cheeky boulder off in there as I try to... God, this is a little bit like Yakety Sax here in high speed, like just trying to keep my units alive. And now we have to deal with all of this. No big deal. I'm going to get another boulder off here in a second with my Cyclops, and it misses. Whatevs. Whatevs. It's just, that's all she wrote, really. I'll let this finish up. I'll show you the end battle screen, and then we'll get to the next siege battle. Alright, so, my force, I feel like it did a pretty decent job. 215 kills, but no XP. That shows you the pain the pain and suffering you can take when you're just dealing with a whole slew of Dardanian mobs. They slow you down. They're not even all that effective in battle. They just overwhelm you and allow your value troops to save themselves for more important jobs. 213 kills is at least did give me an XP chevron. I did really good, I feel, with my renowned slingers, racking up a decent pile of kills, mostly on the Coastal Club Warriors. 87 kills with my chariot before it got caught. I feel like if it had gotten 200 kills, 300 kills, the story might have been a little bit different, but as it was, that's all I could do with it. 133 kills with the Cyclops, 2 XP chevrons, 53 kills there. My ally, 153 kills with this Armored Spearman. That's just the value in facing a Spartan player who drops. Honestly, he racked up a lot of damage here with his Armored Spearman. His bowmen, their ranged weapon damage is very, very low. It's only like 11 damage per arrow. The Bows of Mycenae, 44. If he had more funds, he might have taken Bows of Mycenae instead of bowmen. Yeah. As for the opposing team, Sparta here, whatever, the guy dropped. Toro 0220, fantastic job, as I've always seen in battles with him, and I actually get 2 more with him in this video, and on top of the one time I played him before. And I'm at this point, I'm hoping that he's keyed onto my channel, because he just joined my room today, and it was Jarl's YouTube. Hopefully he stuck around. Anyway, 39 kills, 11 kills, 32 kills. They didn't need to do much because they were alive until the very, very end. 50 kills for this guy, 92 here. A little surprising that none of them earned any experience. And as you can see here, like I was saying about the Dardanian mob, 1 kill, 2 kills, 10 kills, 8 kills. The most one of them got was 11. This isn't their job to make kills. Their job is to plug up everybody else. He had 6 units of Dardanian mob. Let's compare that to my Mycenaean ally, who had 6 infantry units total. If each one of those Dardanian mob grabbed one of these, 5 melee units in battle, then that left 3 Dardanian defenders, all of his Coastal Club Warriors to deal damage to the archers and to do rear charges. That's the value of Dardanian mob. IRC here only brought heavy swordsmen, and this wasn't a mistake. When you're dealing in a 3v2, you might as well force your opponents to look at your army and say, so do you have better infantry than me or what? If I had brought a comparable army to this, I wouldn't have had the forces to deal with this. End of the story. And I'm going to come back to that point in a bit. Let me show you another siege battle. Welcome to one of the most beautiful maps in Troy. This is Greythome. I love this siege map aesthetically. I'm not so sure I'm a big fan of it in a 3v2, which this is. And this is on low funds. Each faction gets 5,000 points. So this time the point gap between the two teams is only 5,000. And unfortunately, in this battle as well as the last one of the players did not load in at all. And was forcibly ejected from the game. That is the Paris of Troy army. Doesn't matter much. His army was, I would not call it a very good pick, but when you're limited to only 5,000 funds, you make do with what you can. We're paused because things kick off really quickly. Let me go ahead and show you. This right here is, hold on, I gotta go double check his name. This is Tavin Mies. He joined from the, from Death's Total War Troy Discord server. There'll be a link to it in the comments. He's playing as Sparta, and he has Defender Companion, one of my favorite hero types because it has healing abilities. 2 Renowned Slingers, and 3 Light Spear Runners. There is a Dardanian mob with a Battering Ram out here to help with this siege point. There's a Dardanian mob with a Siege Tower and a Coastal Club Warrior out here to kind of help push on with this. Let me show you Toro 0220's army. Here's the rest of it. He's playing as Dardania again, this time with a Fighter Ravager and a Chariot. Coastal Club Warriors, Dardanian mob, and 1 Dardanian defender. It's a very similar army to last time. And over here we have Paris's army. This is a unit of Trojan Princes with 4 XP, 4 Slingers, and Paris on a Chariot, and immediately this army is under AI control. I feel like in a 3v2, I guess you could get away with bringing only ranged units, but to me it just felt like this guy was going, I'm gonna play Paris. I'm gonna put Paris in a chariot. Oh, I only have 3,000 funds left. Okay, well I gotta pick my best archer unit. Okay, well now I only have 1,500 funds left. Okay, well I guess I'm just gonna fill out the rest of my slots with slingers and put XP randomly all over it. I don't feel like there was any thought put into this army whatsoever. But I also underestimated it, because here's what I did. I'm playing as Ithaca. Yep, I forward deployed sword skirmishers. These are the 0-calorie version of Warriors of Ithaca. They have stock, they have vanguard deployment, and they have javelins. 4 of them, 18 damage pop. I really should have been paying attention to what my ally was saying. He was telling me not to do this. But I was really hoping that their javelins, I can get some early javelins into the Trojan princes and delete them. He was telling me that I really needed to be concerned about Dardania over here, but I was like, no, I'm just going to hit and run. I'm going to smash attack this with javelins, and then I'm going to fall back and get back into this inside the city. I also took a Warlord Mentor, and I have, let's see here, where are they? Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. That's right. There's a third flank. 4 units of Island Club Warriors to help defend against this, which I thought they would do okay job with, but Light Spear Runners, I definitely underestimated those units. My ally has some upgraded Dardanian mobs, and 3 units of heavy Anatolian swords, which is a great plan. That's a fantastic unit to take, and he has a Warlord Commander, another one of my favorites. Actually, I brought a Warlord Mentor, and he has an Anatolian Slinger up here. So, let me show you how this wraps up right quick. Yeah, so I throw those javelins, boom, boom, and unfortunately the guys, no matter who you target your attack orders to, they will throw their javelins at whoever they like. And then they're just going to turn around and punish me for making this decision. Watch my health just disintegrate. Also, an interesting thing happened here. I was ordering them to move right here, all 4 of them, and apparently that meant 2 would go through the gate here and 2 would go through the gate here. No, just everybody go through this gate, please. Watch how many times they disobey my orders to try and go through the other gate, and I have to order them to stand here, wait, get shot, and they still try to go through that gate. And I'm finally able to give the order to move the last unit through, and I fed Paris here. 20 kills, 21 kills, 11 kills, and 3 kills, 0 kills, and the Paris army just decides to go down this valley. I don't know. It was really weird. There is a force being sent over here, which we didn't quite catch, but now that my swordsmen are back, I'm going to move 2 of my sword skirmishers over here to help with this, because these guys will be no problem, and Paris' slingers I'm not at all threatened by. It's an AI faction anyway. So I get attacked by these light spear runners, and just, a quick stat comparison. These guys have more than enough of what it takes to fight Island Club Warriors. Island Club Warriors have very poor morale, and they don't have anywhere near as good melee attack, damage, or stats. Actually, they have much more damage. It's the only thing they have going for them. Light spear runners also throw javelins. So I get my butt kicked, and because I'm also getting attacked on multiple directions, the Island Club Warriors are going to break and fall back and not deal anywhere near enough damage that they need to against the Light Spear Runners. The Dardanian mob is going to also take out this gate, and then the Renowned Armored Slingers are also going to get up here. The Dardanian mob is going to take the wall over here, no problem. My ally is going to move the Anatolian Slingers over, and they will be escorted by my sword skirmishers. Over here, the battering ram is about to take this out, and the first thing that's going to happen is I've moved my sword skirmishers over here. Once this gate pops, let me go ahead and fast forward. Any second now. Did he stop the... There it is. They immediately start throwing some javelins through and punish this Dardanian mob for it. I'm going to cease fire after a couple volleys and try and hopefully make my opponent feel like I've used up all of their ammo, but I tried not to. There's another Anatolian Slinger over here that's going to go ahead and rout them anyway. Toro 220 does just like he did in the previous siege battle. He feinted with the with the siege towers, and then he stops. The gates open anyway. The gates don't deal damage when you pass through them, so this is just him keeping his Dardanian mobs safe for a bit. I can't deal any damage to them. Alright, meanwhile over here, he puts his slingers on the wall. I guess it was just to slow down the Dardanian mob, so I'm going to go ahead and use my sword skirmisher's ammo to try and break this Dardanian mob. Unfortunately, it isn't quite enough to deal the job. My ally will bring the Anatolian slingers out from here, and then I'm going to move up my sword skirmishers to take this fight. Meanwhile, over here, as you can see, my club warriors got soundly defeated. All I have left is this island club warrior. I definitely made a mistake this battle with the quick deployment of the sword skirmishers, but ultimately I didn't have anywhere near enough infantry fighting power. I didn't bring any heavy infantry, and our foe has theirs, right? Like, there's the Dardanian defender here, there's I mean, they're not heavy, but these light spear runners are a lot more valuable than they seem. And we do have 3 units of heavy Anatolian swords. These guys would be more than enough of a match for one Dardanian defender. The problem is they can't take the Dardanian defender and the coastal club warriors and the mobs. So we're going to hold here and wait for Toro 220 to actually make his attack. Paris is going on a vacation. Paris's army is finally deciding to reveal themselves over here, and we're going to go ahead and finish off this Dardanian mob and the coastal club warrior. I don't remember how it performs. It might actually do okay over here. The sword skirmishers will rout this Dardanian mob, however. The battle is mostly being fought right here now. My island club warriors, my final unit of them, is now having to hold off against these light spear runners by itself. I do get support from heavy Anatolian sword and from Anatolian skirmishers. This is a shielded unit, however. What is the shield on a light spear runner? Oh, wait, it doesn't have shields. Or it can. It swaps them. So, yeah, and now he's put his shields back in his hands. Their shield block chance is 45%. That's wise. That's absolutely wise. But here comes the Dardanian mob to trade out with them. My island club warriors get beat up by these light spear runners over here. They get a path through. And as you can no doubt tell, that means that the door is open if they want to just take the capture point. Paris is still on vacation. I'm going to go over here with my Warlord Mentor, and I'm going to try and challenge this Defender Companion hero. As you can see, though, they have plenty of skirmishers that they can keep protected at this point. The writing is already on the wall, and we both know it, but we're going to try anyway. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting right here. I'll go in a little bit of slow-mo. So he finally pushes up, and he uses his coastal club warriors to take positions on the walls. He is also going to assault through the gate with his fighter Ravager. He actually took a fair bit of damage off that chariot charge. It's very interesting. He's going to try and come through here as well, and he's going to wait with his Dardanian mob until I commit this sword skirmisher somewhere else. And once I commit it to attack here, that's when he comes down. I saw it coming. I countercharge the Dardanian mob, and I'll actually fast forward to that point, but the heavy Anatolian swords are also here to protect my flank. So the fighter Ravager is going to get through here.
You have captured the gates.
My hero is now engaged in melee with that hero. Paris AI is doing whatever it wants. There it is. So I make this attack here, waiting for the Dardanian mob to activate, and Toro 220 was right on top of it. As soon as I see his guys commit, I'm going to pull my guys out of it and charge him. So I'm not going to let you flank me. Never mind the heavy Anatolian swords were here. Really, though, I mean, the Dardanian mob wasn't going to be able to do anything anyway if it didn't attack my sword skirmisher in the flank. I think all I ended up doing was just, attacked in the rear. All I ended up doing was just getting my sword skirmishers attacked in the rear by coastal club warriors. So, didn't prevent the flank from happening anyway, but here comes the heavy Anatolian swords to turn this around. As you can see, though, we don't have the forces to hold this. And that's all she wrote. I do get an Aristea off, but so does he. He's activated his favor of Asclepius to heal this blob. And yeah, I'll give you a rapid speed battle here. I'll at least let it play out. Oh yeah, that was a cool move. So let me give you my thoughts on trying to balance sieges. I don't think there's a way to do it. I don't think there's a way to balance siege battles, at least definitely not by taking out players. If I could have done a 4v3, I would have. I think 4v3 at 5,000 funds might actually start finding balance. Oh, hey, Paris. Thanks for showing up. At least then, the difference, even though the difference is still 5,000 points, at least it's the difference between having a 2,000 point attacking force and a 15,000 point defending force with walls and choke points and the defensive benefit. Ultimately, all I was able to prove here is that even with an attacking side having an AI faction, they're still more than equipped to the challenge of beating a two-player siege defense. Yeah, I didn't use great tactics. Fine. Yeah, we could have done better. Absolutely. God, there's so many body parts just littering this spot on the map. I totally understand that, but it still didn't feel like a balanced encounter. That could be because Dardania brought absolute mobs, but why wouldn't you? Especially if one of your other players is bringing, you know, really reliable, strong infantry. You've already got us outnumbered. Lean into that advantage, and there's very little two players can do about that. All right, so I'm gonna let this wrap up. I'll show you the end screen, and then I'll show you my third and final battle. Alright, so as you can see here, I did a pretty terrible job. No XP earned anywhere. Very low kills, regardless of my opponents bringing plenty of troops themselves. My ally, Eldil Gassileo, who is correct in calling me out and telling me not to do that, he managed more kills, but again, no XP because they were not valuable kills. His 2 Dardanian mobs were where he spent his extra points. No big deal. 48 kills, 6 kills. Wow. 40 kills for the commander. It was just too much for us to take. Toro 220. Managing just fine with the mob anyway. He got plenty of kills with his Coastal Club warriors. His Dardanian defenders were relatively untouched, and we didn't have a really good counter for them. The AI participated. Most of those kills coming from me feeding him. And then Sparta, fantastic job, honestly. 209 kills, 150, 138, 29 and 77. He mostly wiped up Eldil Gassileo's Dardanian mobs here, as well as, I'm assuming, this heavy Anatolian sword. And absolutely also my island club warriors, despite their weapon damage. He got the job done against them as well. So, not a great defensive effort, granted. So, I wanted to try one more siege, and maybe find a way to make sieges balanced. Welcome to Disaster Troy. Yeah, so this time I'm doing a 2v2. Back up to large funds, 12,400 per faction, and the wall advantage mostly taken away. There's still choke point and defensive advantage for the defenders. The points are balanced. So ultimately, this is unbalanced. It's in favor of the defenders. This time, Toro 0220 joined me. The reason for our kind of janky deployment is because our Thithian opponent redeployed his entire army from here to here at the last second, and so we changed our entire deployment, which was about here and here to over here, since we recognized that our opponents were going to be over here completely. I'm playing as Ithaca again. So to back up to large funds, I brought 7 units of Warriors of Ithaca. Remember, these guys are stock, these are medium armor, these are decent speed, actually, 36 right now. Good morale, 160 weapon damage, and also 4 javelins. Backing them up, 3 young spears. We also have Odysseus on foot, and I also took, his back turn for some reason. Oh yeah, janky deployment, that's right, and the Cyclops. And oh yes, how could I forget, I also brought 2 skirmish chariots at 4 XP. Toro 220 brought a fighter ravager hero for Sparta on a chariot. I think this is a skirmish chariot. Yes, it is. You can tell by the ranged attack damage. He's brought Laconian swordsmen. Absolutely, these are the value infantry of Sparta. He has 6 Laconian swordsmen, 2 renowned Laconian axemen for charging work, and then 2 heroic axe warriors. I don't think he really needed these. He could have just brought more Laconian swordsmen and been just fine, but it also could have been a funds thing. He also brought light spear runners. He gave them 2 XP each, and since they are stock, I believe they're stock. Are they stock? They should be if they're not. Yeah, they're stock. They can get all the way out here behind the enemy formations and do a surprise attack because our opponents can't see them. Phthia brought Aged Indian Runners, the max of 2, a bunch of light swordsmen, 2 heavy Phythian spears, and like, what is this, 7? Yeah, 7 bowmen and Achilles on foot. Not a bad army, but you don't have enough heavy infantry with decent killing power. These light swordsmen, max damage, 75. The Phythian spears, max damage, 80. The Aged Indian Runners have 113 damage, but the 2 of them can't do it themselves. Achilles also can't do it with just those 2. The bows, only 11 damage. These are not a great unit. He went very wide, he went too wide, not enough support. And that's a lesson I learned from you, Toro. That's a lesson I learned from you. I hope he watches my channel at this point. We'll see. And this is my friend from the Discord. He's playing as Mycenae. He brought a Warlord Commander on foot. Armored Swordsman. Absolutely my favorite unit in the Mycenaean roster. 2 units of Agamemnon's Companions. An Achaean Slinger. A Renowned Slinger. And 4 units of Bows of Mycenae. These are great bowmen. 125 melee damage if they have to, even though their melee attack is pretty low and they don't have a shield. It's a pretty solid unit with 44 weapon damage and 170 range. So as you can see, my ally is already going wide. We're mostly taking this time to refigure out our deployment. You're going to see me move up here and try and plug both these roads. Toro actually shows me using the lines and arrows. I need to stay back and use my chariots to flank attack this if I get the opportunity to. I also keep my young spears here, knowing my Warriors of Ithaca can't be seen. I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to fall back with my Warriors of Ithaca. Hold this point. I've already moved Odysseus and the Cyclops over here. And the Slingers are going to start opening fire at my young spears. And you know what? I say that's perfectly fine. You go right ahead. I don't want a Slinger shooting my Warriors of Ithaca anyway. I am going to feign interest in attacking this back. I'm trying to make it look like I care. Not by moving my young spears, but by attacking with Odysseus and the Cyclops. Odysseus has plenty of ammo. So here goes my great plan in action. Are you ready for this? This is awesome. This needs to be in panorama. Go, Cyclops. Go! It didn't work. So you can now see my Warriors of Ithaca. And that's going to make him change his mind. He's not going to send in the Armored Swordsman. He's going to send in the Agamemnon's Companions first. And my Javelins are going to tear apart this Light Swordsman. Absolutely tear apart these Light Swordsmen. This is a great position for me. My Toro is right. I probably should have just flank attacked this after he commits. But I'm actually going to tend my Javelins, my Chariot Javelins, on a bit of an adventure. I'm going to actually try and outflank this and get into these bowmen over here. Phthia does a good job of protecting these bowmen anyway. I'm still just letting my young spears get shot at. I'm okay. Toro, leading Sparta, is going to make his way up over here to try and engage this. He's already bringing... These guys are still hidden. The light spear runners all the way around the back. Kind of giving you the macro view because I want you to show we are enveloping their assault force. We're getting around the flanks. Mostly Toro is getting around the flanks, but I'm also doing my part. I got the Cyclops out here kind of leading the effort. I'm letting him shoot at the young spears. I'm okay with this. I've engaged his infantry. He's put in his chargers into this. Achilles is going to do just fine against Warriors of Ithaca. Again, his slingers still just targeting my young spears. I'm okay. I'm totally okay. Warriors of Ithaca are absolutely going to beat light swordsmen. We've already got this one on the run. My chariots are now completing the circle here. And being that this is mostly light, I almost attack this, and then I see he's moved a Phythian spear in position. So instead of attack this, I'm actually going to go around it and go right into the back of these bowmen. The Bows of Mycenae get caught by the surprisingly speedy at 63 light spear runners. They get into the back of these Bows of Mycenae. Bows of Mycenae are not slouches in melee, but they can't take this. I think the Mycenaean player, I think he has them on guard mode so that they continue shooting. He's going to try and get his Warlord Commander back here to help bail them out, but these light spear runners, they're just going to run them over. They really are. And then join into attack here as Toro engages his infantry. I'm going to get my Cyclops involved in this as well. This is cleaned up, basically. I see my opportunity now for my chariots to get into these bowmen, since they're only protected by light swordsmen, and haggard ones at that. So I'm going to run over all of this. I've already got a Warrior of Ithaca back here, and the gap is opened up, so I'm able to charge out here with my Young Spears as well to grab these other bowmen that kind of escaped me. And the Warriors of Ithaca held. They held here. I'm now moving Odysseus to help me engage Achilles, and this is pretty much it. We've completed our envelopment in multiple positions. I can clean up all of these light infantry units with my Young Spears and my skirmish chariots. Bows of Mycenae are routed. The envelopment is complete there. We're getting an envelopment here now, so these Agamemnon's companions and armored swordsmen are now totally cut off. And that's it. A pretty one-sided battle, but I was talking to the Mycenaean player after this game, and he agreed with me that this was the most like a land battle of all of the three battles that we played, and that the reason we won was because we were able to complete our envelopment. Now, it's still not balanced, obviously. Obviously, Toro and I played a much better game here than I did in the other two siege battles. Yes, that plays into it. But ultimately, it's still not balanced because we have the benefit of defense, and having the benefit of defense on a map like this means we have the benefit of choke points. I did take out the walls as a deciding factor, but it's still not balanced. So, if you guys have suggestions on how to make siege battles more fair, let me know. As the game stands right now, we don't have a way to communicate. I cannot tell players that join the lobby, you're limited to so many types of chariots. You are, please don't spend 400 points of your defenders. I can't tell players to do that. The game doesn't have a chat function. All I have that I can do is I can change funds for everyone, so everybody is spending the same, and I can change the number of players. However, the max right now is 3v3. So my guess would be that the most balanced you can do is a 3v2 at 5,000 funds. The one where I got my butt absolutely kicked by Toro. But hey, I think that's still the best bet. But even in those scenarios, even in that kind of game, when one of the attacking players is an AI, they're still able to win handily. Maybe we can try siege battles versus AI. Maybe that would be more fair and fun. It's a hard challenge right now, finding a way to offset the defender's bonus without giving too much to the attackers. So let me know what you think. By the way, if you're still watching and you haven't done like the subscribing thing, please consider. I'm more than halfway to my goal of 500 now, which would allow me the opportunities to get to petition CA for early access to their content, which means I can get you cooler stuff when you want to see it sooner, you know? Anyway, look at those bowman kills. 2. A grand total of 2. Look at those light swordsman kills. 1, 9, 15, 23, 35, 40, 46. That's not what you want to see, Phthia. I'm very sorry, FU3000. This guy managed better, but unfortunately for the Bows of Mycenae, they got rear attacked by, look at them, 58, 67, and 45 kills. The light spear runners. Oof. Oof. Light spear runners, Laconian swordsmen. Oof. Love me some Laconian swordsmen. Warriors of Ithaca, 120, 152, 81. You could tell they did the lion's share of the work here in this battle. And my Cyclops, 80 kills, more than 170 kills with my skirmish chariots. I'll take it. Anyway, that's it for me. Ta-ta, I love you all. I'll see you in the next video.